Yes, yes, yes. Greetings, 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 family. How you all be on this beautiful, beautiful day? Oh my goodness, in this part of the world where I am, it is beautiful. I am out here in nature at a nice park. Let me show you. Let me give you just a look around of how I look in the background. You see where I'm at? Yeah, see? You see that? Okay. We got the river right here behind me. Yes. See? Nice little walk. Nature. Nature always calms my soul. Always. So that's where I be, up here chilling. Family, I hope all of you, wherever you are in this world, I hope it is my prayer that you are doing wonderful on this day. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So, just want to share with y'all a nice little message here. Just a nice little message that I was inspired. This one I was inspired to give you, family, from a very, very good friend of mine here. Uh, on my social media platform. And she said some things that really touched me because every time she speaks, she truly speaks from her heart and from her soul. So this message that I bring to you is inspired by her. And the way I want to give you this message is using me. I'm going to speak on an experience of mine that led me to doing what I do right now here in front of the camera sharing with you. Because my beautiful friend said something. So, something in my spirit, the ancestor said, speak on that. So, this is what I'm going to do. So, here's how it began for me, family. Life for me in the beginning was rough. I mean, it was very rough for me and my siblings. You know, a lot of bad decisions, or shall I say poor decisions, were made on behalf of our life source. But at the same time, you can look at those things to say, well, they were actually what some call blessings. Kind of iffy with that word, but I call it grace. You know, it was lessons. It was preparation. The things that we went through then helped to mold us into who we are now in this life. And that's a part of this message that I'm going to give. For me, family, like I said, life was rough for many different reasons. I mean, life was even rougher for me than it was for my siblings, my brother and sister, because you know, right from the beginning of coming into this life, I saw that, or shall I say, I had the feeling, because I didn't know what it was, but I just had the feeling that I was able to see things a lot deeper beyond the surface, and there were a lot of things that just stood out to me that others couldn't see. So life for me was a little bit rougher because I had to adjust to that as well as what we went through as a whole, as a family. And so, you know, when I was young, I escaped a lot of the harsh environments around me that we had to deal with through through books, reading a lot of books, just reading, creating my own fantasies in life other than the one that you know we had to endure, we had to adapt to. So I would escape a lot through books and watching things on TV, you know, wildlife, things of that nature. It was like I created my own fantasy of what I wanted life to be for me because the life that I was living just wasn't it. So that's pretty much how I carried on my life, which means, you know, I was, I guess as they say, I was one that kind of upheld that nerd status, you know, because I really didn't care to go outside and you know, and play and run around and get dirty like other kids do. I wasn't into that at the time. You know, I had to adapt and to adjust. And so my mentality was totally somewhere else. Well, as we fast forward into life, we fast forward. Forgive me, I got the, hey, it's hot out here, so I drink my little Slurpee. So as we fast forward into life, though, family, I look back and you see, for me coming up, schoolwork was always easy, extremely easy, like extremely easy, like on test days, coming up in middle school and junior high, on test days, I would finish my test like in the first 15, 20 minutes of class, and the rest of the class, I would do the rest of the work, for the upcoming chapters. I would do all that, in class that day. So it was like literally, I was just always ahead, not doing nothing, till the teachers recognized that, my teachers, and so they used me as their own little teacher's aide to grade papers and other classes, and things of that nature. That's just an example to show you, just how in tune I was on the inside with creating my own fantasy and escaping the outside world. There's a beautiful message I have for you though. You see, the outside world had nothing to offer me when I was young. The outside world was very ugly and harsh. I recognized that. And so therefore, I escaped the outside world by going inside of me, creating my own fantasy, you see, of what I was going to be doing in life, how life was going to be for me. I always escaped the outside world from within. Staying in the house, and watching TV, watching wildlife and nature, again, escaping the outside world, shutting the outside world off. This is what I did. Well, I come to find out years later, family, that, schoolwork was very easy for me. It was easy for me. Sometimes it was so easy for me in listening to my friends, talk. I sometimes I thought maybe, okay, well, dang, is there something wrong with me? That, it comes so easy to me and not to them. So I found myself slacking off in school, being more the class clown, wanting to be accepted. Life will bring you full circle to yourself. Just hang in there, family. I got this beautiful message for you. So wanting to be accepted, I would be the class clown and make people laugh, things of that nature. When I saw that they were laughing, okay, so now I'm like, all right, I'm happy. This is who I am. This is who I need to be. So that's what I would do, more of that, and would do less and less schoolwork. So I'm failing schoolwork, not because I couldn't get to work, just because it was not of any interest to me. Something on the inside of me said, well, it was cooler to belong. I wanted to belong. I wanted to be liked and whatnot. Schoolwork wasn't it. So we get through school, and now I'm out here in the world as a young adult. Yes, I'm a young adult now. So as a young adult, going about my way in the world, it's another shift, another adaptation. Okay, so we have to refocus now. Keep in mind, as I said, writing was always easy. Schoolwork, that was a breeze. Reading and comprehension, that was nothing. So now as a young adult, I'm trying to find me. Like, who am I? What's my identity? You see? So I'm going through life trying to figure that out. And again, it's like, like life is boring. It's not interesting because there is nothing challenging me. You see, physically, I was always bigger than the other kids and whatnot around me. But, like a lot of us who grew up, physical talent, that came easy. I mean, we're born with that. You see. Gifted. Keyword, gifted. Yeah, we're gifted. So there really wasn't much challenge for me in the world, because being the size that I was and having the physical talents and abilities that I had, this was one path by design for us to go down that was boring. It wasn't challenging my mind at all. So life was just really not interesting. So I began to write. Just write a few things here and there, not much, just a little, just a little. Then I would put it down, whenever I found something that caught my attention, if there was a group of individuals somewhere who, we just became acquainted, I could make them laugh. So now, you know, okay, I'm it for them. So I would put it down, but I would go back to it, put it down, go back, put it down, go back. Spent a good deal of my early adulthood doing that, trying to belong. You see, when you're not nurtured coming up, I say this all the time to my friends and the messages that I give. Every young soul, every young child that comes in this life needs a certain amount of nurturing attention from the adults around them, all the adults in the family. The aunties, the uncles, the moms, the dads, the grandparents, they need that nurturing attention because that nurturing attention does so much for them. It makes them feel loved. It makes them feel warm inside to know that others in the family care about them. Others in the family are watching them. Others in the family, are helping them to grow up, to find out who they are. It is so important to have that nurturing attention. When you don't have it, there is a void. Plain and simple, a void. And that void is always trying to be filled by belonging to others, trying to fit in, to be around others, to be accepted. That's what that void does, the lack of nurturing attention. So that's the stage I went through as well. I told you I had a rough upbringing. So fast forward, we're still living life now. But I'm still trying to find me, my identity. And I'm like right at 25 now, trying to find my identity. Like, who am I? Who am I? I didn't have my father growing up, like so many of us. I didn't. But I got to a stage where, a stage of acceptance, where I simply accepted it for what it was, and then moved forward. One thing I can truly say about myself that I'm so proud of, the way I've always been. I have never been one to really just hold grudges against anyone. It's like when I was young, if you done me wrong, I was vengeful. Like I would seek revenge on you if you wronged me. But once I got that revenge, once there was satisfaction, then all is forgiven between us. Like literally, we could move on and we could even become friends again because I got the satisfaction out of giving back to you what you gave to me in such an ugly way. So I've never been a person who couldn't forgive, never. And I'm so thankful of that because there are a lot of people in bondage to other people, living and not living, because they're not able to forgive. So as I'm living my life, family, steady trying to find my identity, accepting the fact my old man wasn't there, I'm learning. See, there are two types of people, or shall I say, we adjust two different ways in life. However you come up, whatever you go through, whoever was there, whoever wasn't there, you are going to adjust to the point where when you become an adult and you become a parent, you are either going to do opposite with your seeds that was done to you, good, bad, or in between, or you're going to do the same with your seeds that was done to you, good, bad, or in between. So I took all that in and, I chose to do opposite myself when my first seed came along. But we living now, and I really still don't have an identity, so, I'm kind of just living life like everyone else. I'm out there running around, clubbing, doing this and doing that and doing that. Well, I begin to enter another stage in life, another stage at that 26-year-old mark. So at that stage that I enter life now, there's some more changes taking place. So I started going through things. I started going through things in life where life really, I don't want to say life hurt me, but life taught some very hurting lessons, you see. Life taught some painful lessons because of the reckless way that I was living. There were things that I had to go through that I had to find me. You know, I had to find me, and I had to mature, as they say. I had to mature. So as I was going through these things, and I was writing more. So in writing, I was like, well, let me just, I didn't have anyone around to turn to. I've said this before. I say it again. I didn't have anyone to turn to, so all I would do was write. Just the right to release it from me. You hear me, my friend? I would write just to release, to get it off of me. It wasn't until I was really, really going through something in life and I needed a change. See, when I was growing up, I grew up in the whole religious setting of going to church and all that. I did that like so many of us. And then I left that, went away from it when I saw that it wasn't rewarding. It wasn't rewarding me according to how we were being taught. And, so I moved away from it. That's a whole nother topic. So I moved away from that. But at the time that I was in it, and going through what I was going through, it was so painful that I fell to my knees, crying and praying. I just cried and prayed and said, look, I want a new life, a better life. I want a better life than the one that I have. This is just not it. It's not working for me. And a lot of the circumstances that I was trying to really deal with, is what led me to fall into my knees, praying, crying, night after night, crying. Yeah, crying. And then I heard a voice speak. Nice soft voice spoke to me. The voice said many things to me, but one thing the voice said to me, right, giving guidance, the voice said, write. Just write. Get your pen and just write. Whatever you go through, whatever you're experiencing, just write. Put it on paper. So at that time, not knowing any better, I just wrote, family. I just wrote. I wrote. No matter what it was, I wrote. A little time goes by and I'm still writing. Remember, this happened at 26. So for the next 4 years, age of 30, 31, 4 to 5 years, I'm just writing. After I got all of that off my chest, put it on paper, okay, so I'm kind of clear now. So being clear now, or shall I say, it's been lifted off of me. So now I still go back to, doing what I'm doing. There were many other things told to me. So there were other changes that I had to make. But at that time, I was like, I got this off of me now, whatever. I'm going to just be able to do what I'm doing. I need to get a job and work and do this and do that and do that. The voice would come and speak to me again and said, write. I just want you to write. I'm talking back to the voice, saying, look, man, I don't have time to write. I got to get a job. I got to do my part, because I got the help to contribute to paying the bills and all that and all. I don't have time for that. Voice say, just write. Don't worry about it. But I'm what some would say hard-headed and what others would say strong-willed at the time. Whatever word fits you, floats your boat. So as I'm being hard-headed, not writing no more, I'm still running around now. I'm playing basketball every day. That was my release in the world, playing basketball. No matter what I went through, no matter what was going on, listen, I pick up a ball and I go play. 7 days a week, I'm out there playing basketball. The voice say, right, man, I gotta find a job. The voice say, I handle that. I'm steady playing ball, don't care nothing about that. Riding around in my car. So the voice is like, okay, I'm gonna put you in a position where you're going to do what I'm telling you to do. So things started transpiring at that time. Still haven't had a job, so by not having a job, I can't pay the insurance right on my car. Not able to pay the insurance, okay, license gets suspended. All right, well, the license being suspended, then my tag registration suspended, so I can't legally drive the car now, but you know how we do. When you got to do what you got to do, or you just want to be hard-headed, you're going to do it anyway. So I'm doing it anyway. So all of a sudden, one thing led to another. I had to go to court. Court said, hey, if you get caught in that car again, this is what's going to happen. All right. So now I'm kind of stuck, right? I don't have no vehicle to move around. to look for work or nothing, so I'm stuck. The boy said, don't worry about it. I got you. So I get a job. I get a job and transportation, my family's able to get me to work. It's a part-time job, right? Part-time. But it's part-time where I'm working close to full-time hours. So I'm able to really contribute, to do my half, right? To do my part. So, in all of that time, family, that part-time job that I had, I held that job for, I want to say for like 2 years, 2.5 years. But the very first location that I had, cause it was a security guard job. So the very first location that I had, I was there for a year. So in that year's time of me listening to the voice and finally writing, family, I wrote enough material, no lie. I wrote enough material, poems, to actually do 6 books easy. I'm talking about 6 books easy of about 60 to 70 poems. Easy within 1 year's time. Okay. So during that time though, here's also what the voice told me, what the voice showed me. I had to go to the dentist one day. I done got on my feet now, I done got a full-time job, things changed. I got my, my license back and car back on the road. I had to go to the dentist. So I go to the dentist, on the day before going to the dentist, right? I got poems, written up. The voice say, take some poetry with you. I'm like, okay. I take the poetry, but in my head I'm questioning, well, why am I taking poetry to the dentist? I'm going there to get my mouth done. So I go to the dentist and I'm sitting in there. A young pregnant lady walks in, right? Young female, pregnant. She's probably looks no older than 22, 23. So I just, I speak to her and I ask her, hey, you like poetry? She say, no, not really. I'm talking to her. I have a personality. I can talk to you, I don't care whether you're a stranger or not. I know how to talk to you. I can warm you up. So I say, you not really? I say, have you ever really read it? She's like, no, not really. I say, well, look, read one of mine, please, and just tell me what you think about it. I say, because I believe you will like poetry. As I go to pull out my poetry, right, the poems, the voice told me to give her a certain poem. So I was like, okay. So I give her the poem. So I give it to her to read. I'm sitting down, she's sitting down. I noticed how the poem brings her to tears. I mean, she's just in tears reading this poem, and I'm sitting over there like, I don't know what to say. I'm like, I know the poem that I gave her, from my point of view, right? I'm like, it shouldn't have, why is she crying? So I'm watching her, And then when she finishes, I was like, you all right? She's like, yeah. I say, was it good? She was like, yeah. I say, thank you. You have a beautiful day. When I get into the car to go home, family, the voice say to me, this is why I told you to write. This is the gift that we gave you. I've given you this gift of the pen for you to write. And this is why I instructed you to write the way that you write. You see, I have a certain writing style, with this poetry, different than many others, different than many others. So that wasn't the only time. So another time go by, right, and I'm at the job, I'm at the security guard job, and I just wrote a poem overnight, right? So as I'm writing the poem, again, you must remember that us as the artists, no matter what artist you are, visual artist, writer, musician, we write things, in our own state of mind from our point of view. How it touches you is something totally different. So as I'm writing the piece the night before, I'm like, okay, I like this. I get it off me. There was a woman whose workstation was right in the back, right next to where my office was. That's a security guard, right? So her office is like, her workstation is like right back there where I am. So I literally can come out the door and chat with her all the time. I got to chat with her. We got to, to know each other, and it was beautiful. And I'm talking about beautiful. You know, she got a little daughter and all that, and so we would chat every day. So that same poem though that I wrote the night before, I had no intentions on sharing that with her, but the voice told me, share with her what you wrote. And see, one thing I can truly tell you, family, that because even when I really just didn't know, with a lot of the guidance that I was given, from the ancestors, a lot of times the instruction that I was given, whenever I would hear the voice say something to me to do, I would do it. Whether or not I thought it was crazy, I still would follow the instruction and just simply do it, right? And then just think about it later. That's beautiful. I'm gonna make a point in the end about that. So I give her the poem, you know, I tell her, hey, check this out. I wrote this last night. She started reading. She she just breaks down and she's in tears. Again, I don't know what to say, family. I'm like, because this woman is much older than the young woman. The young woman was like in her 20s. This one right here, she had to be like in her early 40s, late 30s, early 40s. And she has at the time it was like a daughter, almost a teenage daughter. So she breaks down to cry, and I don't know what to say or do, but she liked the piece, and so when I left work, the voice spoke to me again. The voice said to me, this is the gift that we've given you. And this is why we gave you this gift and why we instructed you to write the way that you do. Because your gift touches souls. We want you to touch souls. What you write comes from your soul and it touches the souls of others. Everything began to make sense to me. Everything started coming clear to me. A lot of the questions that I had started being answered. A lot of the questions. You see, we would have beautiful conversations, me and the ancestors, and they would say the reason why we had you to go through what you went through because of the gift that we given you. You see, even before I knew about this gift, family, even before I knew about this gift, I had no clue. But they knew, and they had me to go through what I went through so that I could use this gift to share the experiences, to be able to relate, to pass on the wisdom. This is why they allowed me to go through. They said to me, yes, we know that you had dreams, you had desires of what you wanted to do, and they were nice dreams and desires. But we have a greater impact for you to make on the world. There is a reason why you were brought here, and it wasn't for what you want to do, it was for something else, something greater. So continue to write. You are going to go through more tough things. You are truly going to experience tougher things, but there's a purpose behind it. You see, for me, my purpose became clear once they revealed the gift to me, family. You see, as I said in the beginning, writing was always easy for me, always. But I didn't start writing in poetry form until I turned like 27, 28. Started really going through life. That's when I started putting it all in poetic form to release from me this pain and these things that I was going through. And I was sharing with coworkers at the time, and they thought it was nice. I was like, okay, whatever. I'm just, I done got it off of me now. I just shared it just to see what you think. But that was my way of coping with life and what was going on. You see, I am the middle child of 3, and I was always the smartest one. Because I stayed in my books. So I was the one that had to be strong, helping my brother and sister with their work. On top of what we had to endure in life as a family, as a unit. My challenges, or shall I say, the lessons were great. I mean, they truly were great. I'm talking about some things that I went through when I would share with others, some things that I went through, they would look at me, their mouths open, just like, wow. Like, wow. Like, T, how is it that, man, you went through all of that, and yet you still have such a beautiful personality. Always keep a smile on your face, like your energy is just so warm and positive. How is it that you went through all of that and you are like that still? Because most individuals are hardened behind the things that I went through. Very hardened, unforgiving. Remember I told you earlier, one of the things I was so proud of about me. Forgiveness came easy to me for some reason. For some reason. If a person would apologize and wrong me, I would forgive them. You know? Even if a person didn't apologize, once I separated from them and never had to see them again in life, after a while I was just forgiven. And then move on. I never let anyone have any control or bondage over me. I just never did. So, as I would write more, once it was revealed to me, the gift in writing the way that I do, I paid more and more attention to my writings for me. See, in the beginning, I would just write to get it off of my chest and then share it with others, you know, just to share it, to see what they think about it, right? I really never read over much of my work at all. Once I wrote it down, I didn't really go back and read over none of it. And it really didn't mean much to me once I wrote it down, because see, that's how tied I am to the pen. This is my gift. Once I put it on paper, okay, I've released it off of me. When I would share it with others and they would think what they thought about it, I'm like, okay, I'll move on. But once it was revealed to me that this is my gift, and writing the way that I do is how it was given to me, I would pay more and more attention. From that moment forward, I would pay more and more attention to what I am writing, right? Like, just go back and read over it. Like, some stuff that I would literally write and then go back and read, and then I literally I would be like, wow, myself. Like, T, you just wrote that. Like, I really couldn't believe that I just wrote what I read on paper. Because it's like I'm almost in a trance, if you will, for me. It's like I'm in a trance. I'm in a spiritual trance when I write. You see? All of me is poured into the pen. Because when I write, I already know that somebody someday is going to read this or hear me recite this. And therefore, I want to make sure that they truly grasp hold of the lesson, the message that I am giving. But I want them to know in the very beginning, from my experience, I can relate to what you're going through. And as they continue to read the piece, it helps the way it does me. It uplifts them. It encourages them. It gives strength to them to continue to move forward. See, this is my gift, family. This is my gift. Many people don't know what their gifts are. Don't know because we have not been taught that. Nothing has been taught. Remember what I told you. I grew up in the whole religious sect, going to church all day, every day, and this and that and that and another. There was nothing ever taught to us about gifts. And everybody comes in this life with one. I didn't learn of mine until I was going through. And I went down and prayed and asked for a new beginning. And then when I started writing, my ancestors spoke to me and told me, this is your gift. This is what we've given to you to use. family, I say that to say to you, you really gotta connect on the inside of you and speak with your ancestors. You know, meditate, talk to yourself, as they say. Get to your own quiet place, talk to yourself, and speak to your ancestors. Whatever relative, whatever beautiful relative that was here in the physical that is now transitioned on, that thought the world of you, that was always there for you to talk to, speak to them when you were by yourself and ask them, what is my gift? Because family, we were not brought here just to live this mundane life, you know, have a few babies, a family, or not have babies and then pass on. We were not put here for that. We were not put here for that. You were put here for a purpose. We all were. And we all are given gifts so that our gifts can help others. You see, there are many, many people, wherever they may be in the world, who doesn't have a way of communicating, who doesn't have anyone they can reach out to. Because of the technology we have today, this internet, things of that nature, these individuals may run across you at a precise moment in their lives when they need to run across you. The ancestors will make it possible for them to come across your page and to hear what you have to say. Whatever message you speak that they come and connect with is what they needed to hear at that moment in time to help them where they are in their lives. So if for no other reason that you can think of, know that whatever your voice is calling you to do or whatever you feel you need to do, do that. Do that. Because 9 times out of 10, if you get that gut feeling to do this or to do that, then do it. It's the ancestors speaking to you. So do it. Yes, do it. And there are others like me who know that once we write something and release it, you feel so much better. Yes, you feel better. You feel better because you have put it down on paper. You have written it, or you have created a song. Now the other part is, now you have to share it, because there is somebody somewhere either going through exactly what you are going through, or going through what you went through. And the word that you have to give is what will help them make it through. So, again, I can't stress this enough. Find out what your gift is. Please do, because your purpose is tied to the gift. For those of you who know what your gifts are, but you feel like you're too shy, or you don't have enough self-confidence, you don't believe in your gift enough, that's fine. That's cool. That's cool. Because in the beginning, I really didn't think that my writing was as good as others said it was. I really didn't. I mean, I would just write and share it, and I'm talking many people loved the writing. And I still, for some reason, it just didn't click. So that's fine. But follow the instruction, period. It doesn't matter. Follow whether you believe you are good enough or not, post that word that you are being told to post. Make that video that you are being told to make. Because you see, it's going to reach who it needs to reach at the time it needs to reach them. See, what I can tell you from my experience about this walk in life, very few, when I say very few times, very few times in life will you get the answers, where you know ahead of time why you're being told to do something. You won't. Really, you won't. You just have to follow what you're being told to do, because you have to trust and believe that you are being being used to help someone else. This is why you are being told to do something out of the blue, just literally out of the blue. Okay. Either somebody today is going to need it, or somebody tomorrow, or somebody the next day. This is why you're given that instruction. So I encourage you. If you're shy, okay, write anyway. Make the video anyway. It don't matter if you're shy, you're shy. But there is no one in the world right there in your living room, in your home with you. They're not there. So make the video anyway. If you're afraid of individuals leaving bad comments, saying something that you don't like, because you just don't have your confidence up, okay, turn the comments off. That's right, turn the comments off, right? In your settings, go to your settings, you can turn off comments to your post. There will be no comments no one can make. And post what you need to post, because it's going to reach who it needs to reach. That's the bottom line, period. For me, what I've learned, family, what I've learned, the value of life comes not in things, in titles, in jobs, positions, and all of that. The value of life comes in you learning you learning of your purpose, you learning your gift, and then you sharing it with others. To me, that is the value of life. And this is the message that I had for you, and hopefully for my beautiful friend. Hopefully you've gotten something out of this that will help you to use the gift that you already have and to speak more. Because there is somebody, always somebody, who needs to hear, who is waiting to hear something beautiful come from you. This is the value of life to me. Family, wherever you may be, keep walking. Keep doing what you got to do. Keep doing it. Because always know you are never alone. We're all on this journey together. All of us are on this journey. We just have our own path. That's all. Our own path. And know this, it is not just my desire. It is soul's desire that you all walk well, family. Walk well. And make a beautiful friend along the way. Peace.